And we are live. Good evening, everyone. It is Monday, August 14th, I think. Yeah, it's the 14th. The time is just after 8 p.m. And I thought I would do a live stream from home tonight instead of going out and about. I'm still feeling a bit tired and just need some more rest to catch up on things. But I wanted to just touch base with everyone and let you know I'm here, I'm well, and we might as well have an adult beverage and hang out for a bit. I skipped the Sunday night Stumble stream last night on the Johnny Stumbles channel, and I was hoping to get out today and go do a live stream, but I guess my laziness, tiredness, whatever you want to say, had other ideas. So let's crack open this beer and cheers. And I see Fifi Connie L's here, Raj is here, Mr. Hippo, Brad Palmer, Jennifer Gallis says, welcome back, Johnny. Really enjoyed your pictures and videos from Paris and Barcelona. Very happy to see you back. NTO, thank you, Jennifer. Harjot is here. Gertej, Sheena Roberts, Robert Ford, Jenna A, Naughty Brown, Hunter Stewart, Wesley, Action VJ, Brian, Marie Palmer, Brad Palmer, Vivian Johnson, Jeanette Morales, Ren Tintin, and everyone else. Thanks for joining in on this rare Monday night home stream. I'm not sure how long we'll be going for, but just to fill you in, I got back from 5 nights in Paris, 4 nights in Barcelona on Friday night. I got back like late evening, early night. I don't even know what constitutes evening and night. And I've just been kind of jet lagged and beat up. I went out Saturday. I made a taste of the Danforth video. And that's really all I've done. I've watched a whole lot of TV. I'm all caught up on 90 Day. I watched a whole lot of YouTube that I didn't get to watch while I was away on vacation. Edited a few videos, but really, it's one of those like you need a break from your break kind of things. But anyways, cheers. And yeah, so what you are watching now in the background, I was at a really good tapas restaurant. In fact, this restaurant was so good, I went there for lunch and dinner on my final night, although I had completely different things. And while I was eating, since I had this window table, I thought, why not just set up the camera and let it play? And I'll see if I could play that in the background of a live stream. So that is from some random street corner in Barcelona while I am eating my tapas. So that is what you are watching. But fortunately, you cannot... I don't have the audio playing, right? I better not have the audio playing for this video. No, I don't, because there may have been a conversation going on, which I'd rather not have everyone listen to. But if you have any questions about the trip or about the channel or for me in general, now's the time to do it. Feel free to chat casually amongst yourselves as well, of course. It's just going to be a really low-key kind of hangout style live stream. Gertej, how long was the flight back to Canada? You know, that's a good question. I think it was about 6 hours and 50 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm going to say 6 hours, 50 minutes. I flew from BCN Airport in Barcelona, so we flew on Air Transat. Fun thing, or a fun fact about that flight, the bathrooms are absolutely tiny, and the sinks didn't work in either of the bathrooms, at least at the front of the plane where I was sitting, which was pretty gross. They had wet wipes, like wipes and hand sanitizer in the bathrooms, but yeah, I didn't even want to tempt fate and try a number 2 in those bathrooms. I'd just never been on an airplane before where they didn't have any running water, which was pretty gross. Action BJ says, have you been to Portugal before? No, I've only been to 3 countries in Europe. The Netherlands, Spain, and France. That's how out of it I am. Lisa saying, sup. Robert B says, hey, Johnny, going to Barcelona next week. Any places to avoid or any recommendations of places that are a must visit? The Sagrada Familia is like probably the most beautiful building I've ever been in. So I would highly recommend, don't just go to it, like book a tour and go inside it. It's amazing. And pay for going up one of the towers. The lift was broken, so I couldn't go up one of the towers. But I had a ticket. Cerium 398. Those European boulevards look so wonderful. Certainly my most favorite part of your vacation was where you ended up strolling through the Paris red light district. I enjoyed Barcelona as well. Thank you, thank you, Cerium 398. Yeah, in Montmartre, I found a bit of a red light district on the same street that Moulin Rouge is on. But thank you, Serum 398. The Barcelona videos haven't dropped yet. I did one live stream from there, but I've still got 3 walking videos. I've got a Sagrada Familia / Metro video in one. That was supposed to be a live stream, but my signal didn't work very well. And I have one from the Barcelona airport. Thank you, Serum 398. And Robert B, yeah, I didn't really go anywhere to avoid. Las Rambla or La Rambla is a huge tourist trap, but it's worth going to once, and it's right next door to the Gothic Quarter, which is worth seeing. If you want to see like their slummy, dangerous area, go to El Raval. I went there; it was fine. The beach might be worth avoiding. The beach was pretty shitty; like it was packed and it wasn't great, but everyone goes to the beach. I did a beach video. You'll see. I was only there 4 nights, and I'm far from an expert, but it's an awesome, awesome city. I don't think you can go wrong. I even went to like a nightclub, which was kind of fun. Not really. I'm more of a stand in the back and drink my 15 euro gin tonic because that's what they cost there. But yeah, I didn't do anything I regret or wouldn't do. Just go to a bunch of tapas restaurants and try everything on the menus. It's a pretty awesome city. Probably of the 3 European cities I've been to, it's probably my favorite. Chris Mills says, good evening. Welcome back. Thank you, Chris Mills. Yeah, he says, Johnny, I recommend to fly in British Airways next time or France. Air Transat sucks. Air Transat wasn't so bad. Other than that, and everything's a la carte. You want alcohol, you're paying for it. They give you a meal, but it was so much cheaper than the other airlines, like much, much cheaper. I wouldn't hesitate to fly Air Transat again. Robert B says, thanks for the tip, Johnny. Really appreciate it. I could also tell you an excellent hotel, but I don't want to spoil that for my video, but I'm sure you've already got your accommodation booked. Sebastian says, hello, everyone. Hello, Sebastian. Should I just keep playing this people watching video in the background, or do you want to switch? Maybe we'll do this for like 5 more minutes, and then I can play another video. Jellybean says, I'm surprised you had IFEs on Transat. You know what, Jellybean? I'm going to pretend I know what IFE means. In-flight entertainment. Yeah, we did have in-flight entertainment. That is correct. Oh, you would have seen that on my flight there. I guess we're crossing the ocean, but I just opened up my laptop and watched stuff that I downloaded. Action VJ says, yes, it's great. Sebastian says, what day did you drive in Toronto? I drove Friday. I flew in Friday night. People are liking the people watching. You will definitely notice. You would never think this was Toronto in summer if you took away everything and just left the people, right? It's a very different looking crowd. Danielle says, hello from Hamilton, everybody. Hello, Danielle. I also recorded a 7-hour high-speed rail line ride from Paris to Barcelona. I recorded the whole damn thing with a few little skips. I didn't bring my camera mount for the window, so I found a way to like wedge my camera into the window pane. But I don't know what to do with that video. It's like 7 hours of literally just watching the world go by. Maybe I'll put it on the Johnny Stumbles channel. I have a bit of the background for the background of it too, or a bit of that. I can't even speak English. A bit of that one that I can play on this stream as well. Jeanette says, whoa, 7 hours. Lisa, oh my God, 7 hours. Yeah, it's a long one. We'll just call it that. Maybe the audio isn't that good. There's also sometimes when you go into a tunnel and you can see me and my seatmates. So I might want to cut those parts out. I don't know what to do with it yet, but it's kind of neat. I do have some clips that I could play on this live stream later. It's slow TV, but fast, kind of. Mr. Hippo says the longest video ever. I think 12 hours is the maximum for YouTube. And I think it's under 256 gigabytes too. So I think I can still upload it. Chris Mills says they seem to be talking to one another and not glued to their phones. Yes, you see a lot less cell phone zombies in Europe. Far less. Silver Fox says, hi, Johnny. Welcome back. Hope you really enjoyed your trip. I did. Thank you, Silver Fox. Serum says, make the 7-hour video in ASMR. Put some white noise over the video. Yeah, there's a lot of like train noises, like clicks and thuds every few seconds that makes the audio kind of annoying. So maybe that might be a good idea. Inject some white noise in there. Hey, Alexa, play white noise. She's telling me that I can pay to listen to 10 hours of white noise. Silver Fox says, show us your seatmates. Maybe I'll leave them on in the reflection. Lily says, hello, Johnny. Welcome back. Hope you had a great trip. Thank you, Lily. Speaking of thanks, Alex says, no, thank you to Jellybean for gifting 10 channel memberships while I was away. Awesome stuff, Jellybean. Thank you to that, and welcome to the 10 new YouTube channel members. Devin says, I like the train audio. I can sleep right through it. Yeah, there's some weird, like, clicks. Now, Lisa says, I play white noise every night when I sleep. Drowns out street sounds. Oshira says, welcome back, Johnny. On that note, Lisa, Stephen Collins, member for 12 months. People watching is so mesmerizing. Forgot to write. Maybe we'll keep this people watching video going. Thank you, Stephen Collins. It's not creepy at all to just fixate on people walking around who have no idea they're on camera. I want to show you something, Lisa. Speaking of white noise, you're welcome, Jellybean. I got this portable white noise machine, which is so much better than what... Is it going to play if I plug it into this? It's so much better than what you get out of your phone. But this is not enough juice for me to play it, and I have nothing else to plug it into. You'll just have to take my word for it. Put these bad boys on when you sleep, and they work quite well. Frogger asking, would you fly between Paris and Barcelona if you were to travel between them again? No. Hell no. High-speed rail all the way. It is so nice not having to go to a stupid airport and go through security and take your belt off. And I'm a carry-on only kind of person. Why is my phone lighting up? I'm getting instructions on how to use this via text message right now from someone who is watching. They said if the power doesn't come on right away, hold it. This is what it sounds like. But you can change it. So anyway, how do I turn it off? There we go. So to answer the question, would I fly between Paris and Barcelona? No, I don't like unnecessary airport visits. The train was just so good going from like city center to city center in Barcelona. Like I literally took line 5 right to my hotel. So that was pretty awesome from Barcelona Saints. And they weigh your luggage in Europe. And if you're flying like almost any airline, if your carry-on is over 7 or 10 kilograms, they're going to make you check it or pay a fee, which is super annoying, where you don't have to deal with that nonsense on a high-speed rail. So yeah, I'm converted. Anytime I will pay double for high-speed rail over a flight. I was quite happy with it. Lisa says hers sounds exactly like it. Sirium says, Johnny, it's the 20-year anniversary of the blackout. What were you doing then? I was working at TD at a call center for TD Insurance back then. And I remember we had a backup center. So rather than going to the office in Etobicoke, I had to go to some like giant warehouse type building in Mississauga that was run by generators. Now my house, we had power like the next morning, but most of everyone I worked with didn't have power. So I was like showered up, felt good, drove to work. And now I'm taking phone calls, but we don't have computers. We don't have systems. So like I'm literally taking phone calls from our clients with paper and pen, like making notes as if like I'm going to call them back and help them. It was really, really stupid. They really just should have had like an automated message like, sorry, we can't do shit. Call back when we have our computers. But they made us all go there and work and like turn into glorified note-taking answering machines. So that's where I was doing, or what I was doing during the blackout. That's pretty much my only memory of it. Lily says, I have to have a fan going in my room at night, otherwise I can't sleep at all for the coolness and the noise, even though I have other white noise ASMR playing. Marg D says, enjoyed watching your videos of Paris and Barcelona. Thank you. I got a lot more Barcelona to go. We're all out of Paris walking videos. I have a Paris hotel video and the high-speed rail journey to go, and I have a Paris metro video to go. Jane Jarin says, welcome back. Did you see Shakira's cheating ex Gerard Piqué walking around Barcelona? No, I don't. I wouldn't even be able to tell you if I saw Shakira, let alone this Gerard dude. Silver Fox says I do well at CP24. Thank you. Who's Jaw? Kevin Duke asking if I've been to Rome. No, I have not. We have 9 minutes left of people watching on this video. Matt Bro says the blackout was the same year as SARS, you believe. I remember we went to Chinatown to eat during SARS when it was a ghost town. Mayhem says, welcome back. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mayhem. Eric says, did you just go for fun? I wanted to go to Tokyo, but flight prices got, like, insane. So I just kind of went to Europe, like, 70% for fun, 30% to just make some videos. So, yeah. I guess you could say I went for fun. I went out, like, there wasn't a day where I didn't have at least 3 drinks. I gained a lot of weight. Maybe I look a little fatter in the face. I'm going to have to start walking this off pretty soon. I averaged like well over 20,000 steps a day though. So I was walking a whole lot. Chris Mills says man bun equals no. And we're at 241 viewers. Thank you guys. Just a friendly reminder. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Usually my live streams are from out and about. Hopefully I'll be out either on foot or on the scooter in the next few weeks. Or sorry, next few days on a live stream. Chris Mills says T-minus 3 weeks to NYC. NYC is awesome. I hope you have an awesome time, Chris Mills. Jennifer Gala says, it's true, Tokyo is so expensive. Seoul too. Yeah, those flights... I used to be able to get like a round trip flight for like $1,200, like a direct round trip flight. Now they're like, when I was looking for Tokyo, flights with connections were like $2,800 minimum, and like direct flights were like $6,000 or $7,000. It's just Looney Tunes. Hopefully that situation sorts itself out. There's a lot of pent up demand for Tokyo. They were one of the longest to be locked down and inaccessible during the pandemic. but hopefully international travel comes back to not being crazy town price-wise. I'm watching a lot of these like Josh Cahill and Noel Phillips, like travel YouTubers that do like the flight videos. I have no idea how they can afford to like, well, I kind of do actually. But it's just insane that how expensive it is to get in a plane and go overseas these days. History Miner says yes to a room fan for sleeping, especially in my very warm space, and to block Bloor Street traffic noise. I'm listening to Yonge Street traffic noise right now. Shira says 20k steps in a good day, 15k is the average. You walk a fair bit. Naughty Brown was in Airdrie on Saturday. I think my mum was from Airdrie, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere like that. Michael K says everyone in the video is so trim. Welcome to not North America, I guess. Yeah, it's a different world over there. Also, like, less diverse, though, that part. Was noticeable as well. Dominic says, do you remember Billy Blue? He just left Bogota, Colombia. The Cheap Charlie Chronicles. Yes, super duper nice guy. I met him on a few occasions. One of them, I even hung out with him a little bit during one of his live streams in Thailand. I would love to go to Colombia. Apparently that's like an it spot. It's affordable. Flights aren't crazy. You get to take in a lot of culture. There's like Bogota, there's Medellin, there's like a number of neat spots. Colombia definitely on my radar. Herman Huang says, welcome back. Thank you, Herman Huang. Chris Mills says, not a scooter in sight. There are a lot of scooters in Barcelona. This street is just, it just doesn't have bike lanes on it. That's why you're not seeing it. But they pretty much have bike lanes on every other major street. And Barcelona, unlike Paris, is like a north-south, east-west street grid. Hakar Malm, sorry if I mispronounced your name, says, I'd love to visit walkable Barcelona or any other walkable city. Walkable city, unfortunately, you're stuck here in Niagara Falls. Oh, you and my mom. Yeah, Barcelona, insanely walkable. I think that's where City Nerd lived from the, well, what else? City Nerd channel. Jennifer Gallus says, Noel Phillips was flying business class ANA from Tokyo to San Fran on his last video, and he didn't like it, and he was grumpy. I think the ANA room business class is awesome. I always liked ANA flying it. What he did was insane. He wanted to go from Tokyo to San Francisco, but the one-way flight on business class was $8,000. So what he did was he bought a flight from Tokyo to Bangkok in business class on a budget airline. Then he flew from Bangkok back to Tokyo in business class, Tokyo to San Francisco, and that was cheaper. It was cheaper for him to buy a flight from Tokyo to Bangkok and then a flight from Bangkok to San Francisco via Tokyo than just going from Tokyo to Tokyo to San Francisco. Like, it was like 80% cheaper. So a lot of people don't have the luxury of like being able to take a bunch of extra flights to save money and fly to wherever is the cheapest place to fly from. But when you're a full-time travel YouTuber, I guess you do that. But yeah, Noel Phillips did that. That airline he flew, he got to fly in like a pod, like a proper business class pod. It didn't come with an entertainment system. It didn't come with food. They still weighed his carry-on and made him check it, which is hilarious. Like, imagine flying business class and being told that your carry-on is too heavy. And like a proper ass budget airline. But he got to like have a lay flat pod, which is pretty awesome for Tokyo to Japan, especially for how little he paid for it. Jeanette says that's a crazy flight itinerary to save money. It is. But he got to make money every step of the way because he made content out of it. So from his point of view, it's like right up his alley. And those travel YouTubers have to do that to survive. They can't just buy like the $8,000 ticket, even with all their points and stuff like that. Frogger says at a mall on Valencia, they had special scooter lockers outside, but overall lots of people brought them inside. I've never seen special scooter lockers. Marvin Hymanson, Johnny, longtime viewer, would you consider doing a train video with Downey Live Median is nice to visit. I don't know who Downey Live is, but let me look that up right now. But thank you very much, Marvin. I'm going to Downey Live right now. Thank you for your support and the $4.99. Downey Live has 715,000 subscribers. Is he even going to give me the time of day? Your friendly Canadian adventure YouTuber with a passion. You know what, Marvin? I'm going to subscribe to him and check his content out. And I will get back to you on that. But yeah, he looks like a pretty awesome channel. One that I didn't even know existed. So thank you, Marvin. There's one called like Alex Pergoski, I think, who is a Canadian. He does a lot of like flight trips, similar to Noel Phillips or Josh Cahill. All right, we have 2 minutes left of European people watching. What do you want to do next after this? Let me pull up what's going in the background. The last option is a little bit somber, but let's see. Chris Mills says he did an extensive series on train travel. There was one, his name was like Brave Dave, and he like rail hopped across Canada. It was like one of the most insane YouTube series I've ever seen, where he literally just like hopped on and off freight trains going from like here to the West Coast. Robert B says, I vote for more Barcelona videos. 41% said short Paris walk. 46% voting for high-speed train clips. And 11% say Johnny disappears forever. I do have a few clips coming up actually. I have a Sagrada Familia clip. And I have a beach clip as well, which I could play. I don't know. We got 20 seconds left of the people watching. Let's see. Some people complained, Action VJ, that the walking backwards clips didn't work so well for them. Oop. Here's what happened. I went up to go to the bathroom and like I bumped the table and the camera went out of whack. And the people watching has looped. So let's see what you guys have voted for. 41%, 40% short Paris walk, 46% high-speed train ride clips. It looks like that is the winner. Oop, that's the short Paris walk, by the way. This is a preview of the video you did not vote for. Hey, look, a skyscraper. Not in La Défense, but in Paris. What a weird sight. You just don't see that. But anyways, it looks like high-speed rail won. So this is a view. Thank you for voting, by the way, guys. This is a view from the first class cabin on the... There's two different train lines running between Paris and Barcelona. This apparently was like the better one. This is like a double-decker high-speed train. You can see what the trains look like that I'm going by. Action B just says, boo, let people that don't like walking backwards. Eva says, what are you drinking? I'm drinking a Creamore. This is the last beer in the fridge. Frogger says, let's see how busy the beach was. The beach was very busy. I have a full beach walk, but I can also play a clip from it maybe later on in this one. All right, Lisa Palmer. Hope your neighbors are doing well. So I'm hand-holding the... that is pretty much the same train I'm on that we went by. This train ticket was about $290-something to ride in economy or basic class. But I'd never been on a high-speed train in Europe before, and the way this works is if you're in like the basic class, you sit on the lower level, which means you're going to be seeing a lot of like just sound barriers or like the side of a ditch that you're rolling through. So I read what you really want to do, especially if you've only done this once, is spring the extra money and pay for sitting in the upper part of the train where you're in the first class cabin. So I spent $400 times however many people I went with to ride up here. It was kind of one of those like YOLO things, but it was so nice. The seat was so big. It was so comfortable. There was so much leg room. The tray was huge. I ordered a coffee and Lisa says good graph where there are trains. I ordered a coffee and it like came out like literally you just order stuff off your phone and they come bring it to you. There was also like a food car where you could just go hang out with a bar and like chill with other people and watch the world go by. You know, you could walk around. There were bathrooms. Like it was really, really an awesome experience. It was so much better than flying. And I looked it up. The cheapest flight from Paris to Barcelona I could have got around this time was about $150. So yeah, I spent quite a bit to do this, but it was awesome and totally worth it. Definitely do the high-speed rail if you get the chance. Mary McKenzie, did you walk up in Gaudi Park, aka park name I can't pronounce? Yes, I did. I have if you check out my Instagram, I have a few pictures from there. Also, the thumbnail for this video is from that park. So yes, I went to Gaudi's Park where he lived at. That was actually a failed residential community. So he kind of lived alone. And then he moved into his workshop in the Sagrada Familia until he was sadly hit by a tram and died. Yeah, sad ending to probably the most famous Spaniard of all time. Lisa says, I love the idea of being able to stretch your legs properly. Yes, it is. Not only that, the ability to sit cross-legged in your chair and not have your knee like stick into the chair of the person beside you or into the aisle. Like these seats were big enough that I could do that, which was awesome. Jeanette says $400 for first class train. Cool. Well, cheaper for you, Jeanette. That would be like what, 320 USD? That was 400 Canadian. I think I'm still hand holding the camera here. I hadn't yet figured out how to like mount it to the windowsill. History Minor says, hope you tasted some good wine in Paris. I don't know about good wine, but I tasted some cheap wine. Some very cheap wine. That was one of the best parts. Whenever I did go to like a really high-end cocktail bar that was like super hipster. Like everything was like farm to table, made in our backyard. Cocktails were like stupidly expensive. And it was a place called Little Red Door. Total like speakeasy vibe where they tried to make it kind of hidden. But what I noticed was everyone there was like speaking English. It was like Touristville. But it had a bit of an exclusive vibe, and I had a few cocktails there. I don't even remember what they are. I'm not really a cocktail drinker, but that was cool. But I didn't drink any like high-end or expensive wine. I went for like the $3 bottles of wine because why not? You can do that. Clark Kent says, I would prefer the old low-speed trains. They make noises that are nice to sleep to. This was like a 6-hour plus train ride. So I think the 300 kilometer an hour speeds that these trains hit was much needed. Mary says, did you go on any of the cable cars in Barcelona? No, but I was down by the beach and I got a close view of them. I'm trying to make sense of your comment. You're burning through your vibes quickly. I have no idea what you're talking about. Frogger says, did you book early to get that $400 price? No, I booked, this is peak season when I went. In August is when a lot of Europeans are off. And what Europeans like to do is travel around Europe. So I paid like the maximum price you would pay. It was like the stupidest time of year to book this high-speed rail ticket. Yeah, so I didn't book early. I booked it like maybe a month in advance, but that was the time I was going when demand was at its highest. So I paid probably the most you'll pay. GD Kid says, I've been in China for the past month, so you've been taking HSR a lot going between places. They have tons of sections going through mountains and on huge elevated guideways. The views are just crazy. Yeah, China has... one of the things China did wrong, though, was they built their high-speed rail network so quick that they didn't engineer it to go right through a lot of city centers. It kind of takes the path of least resistance. So a lot of times, let's say you're going to like Shanghai or something, you take their high-speed rail to the station that serves that city, but you're not very central. You then have to get off and take a secondary train. Whereas I think they do it much better in Europe in terms of you're going from like Paris Lyon to Barcelona Saints. I watched Wendover Productions, I think, did a whole video on like the downside of Chinese high-speed rail. But overall, it's awesome. It's awesome. Sapan's sister has been to Barcelona before once for like 5 days. You know, I like Barcelona so much that I kind of want to go back. It's got that same feeling to me that like Tokyo has and Bangkok has. It's not often that I really want to go back to like the same city. Like, I'm not feeling the itch to go back to Paris. I'm feeling zero itch to go back to Amsterdam, as awesome as those cities were. But Barcelona, I could easily see myself going back and then like going to like Lisbon or Athens or like another European city I wanted to go to, maybe London. But yeah, I would 110% go back to Barcelona. It is an awesome, awesome city. Jennifer says, we need these trains between Montreal and Toronto. Imagine if we can do that in 2.5 hours. Yeah, Jennifer, that would be awesome. Via does have faster moving, much more modern trains about to come online. So the Via trip is about to get way better, but it's still not a proper high-speed rail corridor. Really, it should go from Montreal with an offshoot to Ottawa all the way down to Windsor, right? And there should also be a fork that goes through like Rochester, Albany, and into New York City. Noddy says, you're coming here? Where is here? Scotland? Am I going to Scotland? Jellybean says Berlin. I have a cousin in Germany. Maybe I'll go to Germany someday. I've got a friend that lives in Frankfurt and a cousin. I don't know where my cousin lives, but I know he's in Germany. Thank you, William, the man who I met randomly in a Tim Hortons in Oakville. I had to go pee, so I got off the highway. And I decided not Tim Hortons, a Starbucks. Since I was there, I got a coffee and I met William. Clark Kent says Istanbul is nice too. I've heard it is. Rocky Rambo says Rome. When are you going to Rio de Janeiro? I don't know. I think my South American sites are going to be set on Colombia for now, just out of an affordability, and flights aren't bad. They're not that long, and they're a lot more accessible than like Brazil or Argentina. Adam C says, Johnny, Seville, it's amazing. Adam C, thanks for the suggestion. I'll have to look into it. Thank you, Martin. Noddy says, come to Scotland. Frogger says, I'm convinced now to go to Barcelona and take HSR to one of the smaller cities in the south of France. You know, that was one of the best parts about this train ride, was going through the south of France. And when you start going through it, you see a lot of like beautiful homes on the water, and they start to really look Spanish when you get into like that end of France. It's a really, really neat trip to see the transition. Apparently, my cousin is just outside of Frankfurt. I have a lot of helpers watching my stream here, slipping me messages. But yeah, I just chopped this video up into a few different clips through... I don't know, should I post the full train ride? Do you guys want to watch a train ride, like a full-ass train ride from Paris to Barcelona? Does anyone want to watch that? Herman Huang says the Faroe Islands. Crazy Bill David says nice beige. All right, right, so this video has 30 minutes left. I can always pause this video. We can go to something else. Lisa says absolutely not. Sapan says yes. This almost sounds like something that I should just put on Johnny Stumbles, right? Marge says yes. Lisa says I can't stand a movie. I can't sit through a movie I pay for. I can't sit through a movie that's over like 80 minutes. I know if it's 80 minutes, that's the hallmark of a terrible movie. But that's about the most I can sit through in one stop. Sirium says yes. Stevie B says put it up separately. Let's pull. The true answer should be, anyways, I'll let you guys do it. Show us around the train and the bar car, says Silver Fox. You know what? I made a video where I do that. So there will be a video, Paris to Barcelona, or maybe I'll call it like Paris-Lyon, because I showed off a Paris-Lyon station. And then I board the train, and then I show off the seats, some of the amenities, and the bar, the food car or bar car. So we'll see. Clark Kent says we already saw enough trains. I want to see the Paris footage. Coming. So I guess you won't be going out to see Oppenheimer. No, I won't. %75% yes. The thing I don't like about this video is there's like a click every few seconds. Like the train was just making a weird noise. But maybe I will post it anyways. Stevie B says the beach would be nice. I have a clip of the beach, right? I could pause this video and literally we could be watching some of the beach. Tony Young says this train would work perfect with lo-fi or relaxing music. You know, one thing I don't like is putting music in my videos. I don't like being the one to choose music because it's so subjective and people have different tastes. And when I watch like YouTube videos, the biggest turnoff is like just listening to whatever cheesy music even if it's like a vlog, when they set music to like little montages, it just makes my skin crawl. So fire up your Spotify and play your own tunes to it. But maybe I'll put some white noise on here or something. I don't know. Janie Jaron says bonne nuit, Johnny et ami. I think that means good night. I think. All right, bonne nuit. I have no idea how to. Oh, we are entering the south of France now. I've obviously cut a giant chunk of the video, but you can see by the rooftops, they're starting to look like distinctively Spanish in this area. You agree with no music? You love hearing the background sounds? Yeah, I just don't like choosing music for other people. Like I've always found that like early my first videos were all set to music. And I just thought like the whole process of like going through music and like trying to time it with the video and make it match the mood, it was just so tedious. And even then, like it's purely subjective. I just don't like doing it. Jane says, it means good night, Johnny and friends. Thank you, Jane. Have a good night yourself. Thanks for dropping in. Zach Thong says you're currently fighting off a summertime cold. Well, I hope you get better. So it looks like I'm going to have to post this full-ass video. Maybe I'll set it to music. LAB says, and the music comes on loud sometimes. Yeah, I know some YouTubers like sending their stuff to music. That's fine. I just don't like music in videos. Period. But I'm going to end the poll. Someone was asking for a beach video. Should we pause the video and get a little sneak peek of the Barcelona beach? The first person to say yes or no will command what I do. Should I pause this train ride to get a sneak peek of the Barcelona beach? Yes or no? The first one. Whoever writes yes or no is what I'll do. Waiting. Still waiting. It's simple. You just got to write 3 letters or 2 letters. There's obviously a lag between the stream. Stephen Collins says no, Stephen Collins. Look at all the yeses rolling in. Look at all the yeses rolling in, but Stephen Collins, you won. Man, man, but look, how could I deny all these yeses? Okay, we'll do it on, you're both going to win. We'll do it on a timer. Alexa, remind me in 5 minutes to play the beach. All right, in 5 minutes, I'll show you a preview of the Barcelona beach walk, but you're going to have to stick around to watch it. There's a little clever YouTube trick. Epic Nation HD Liam in the house saying yes. Steven says train nerd wins. This is a long ass stop. This train made a lot of stops, by the way. It made a shit ton of stops. There was this family that like came up from economy class and they were like looking for like the seats in the section I was at, like vacant seats they could sit in. And like the mom plunked herself down in one of these first class seats. Then this lady with a dog came on and she was not impressed. She's like, "You're in my seat. Get the F out of my seat." And yeah, it reminded me when I was a kid and you'd go to like the Sky Dome and you'd sit up in the upper deck. And then in like the 7th inning, you'd go down with your dad and you'd sit in some like really nice seats near third base that you saw weren't being sat in the whole game. It looked like they were trying to do that in the train, but it makes so many stops that it was like every single stop we went to, half the seats would be vacant and then that amount of people would come on. So it was pretty efficiently run, I would say. As we just watch people, that must be like a local commuter train, but this is definitely the south of France where we are right now. How big is this file? I put it all together. I put it together as one Paris and Barcelona high-speed rail. Where is it? 261 gigabytes is my high-speed rail video, and it is 6 hours and 26 minutes. What a beast of a video. All right, I'm going to upload that to the Johnny Stumbles channel. Were you served food on the high-speed train? No. Not that I didn't pay for. I ordered a bunch of drinks. Sometimes I went to the snack bar to get them, or the bar cart. Sometimes I just ordered them to my seat. Jelly Bean says it's huge. Yeah, that'll be the biggest file I've ever uploaded. Action Kid has uploaded some like entire flights. Lisa says if you're going to put music over it, it's got to be very chill. Yeah, I might just put some white noise over it. Oh, Estelle asking how long will it take to upload? Not that long. I've got like a pretty fast, maybe like 20 minutes. I've got a pretty good fiber connection. Won't take that long. I might compress it. I'm going to have to edit it. I want to edit out some of the tunnels because when I'm in the tunnel, you can clearly like see me and I might be picking my nose or something. So I'm going to edit out the tunnels, but so I might compress it a little bit, reduce the bit rate, but probably 25 minutes to upload. It won't be that big a deal. Should I premiere it? That's a good question. Do you want to premiere like a 6.5 hour train ride? Craftwork would be a good choice, says Chris Mills. You're speaking an alien language to me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Am I going to have to Google what is Craftwork? Kraftwerk, pioneers of electronic music as well as subgenres such as electro pop, art pop, house music, synth pop, and electronic pop. There we go. We have a suggestion. Anthony says, let's do another poll. Okay, let's do another poll. There's your poll, Anthony. Don't hate the pollster. Naughty Brown says German group. Maybe Pet Shop Boys. We'll play Go West. He means European techno, says Funky Child. But yeah, we are in a part of France that looks very much like Spain. Gertej votes for donuts. Tacos killing donuts so far. Syrian voting for tacos. Lisa says always tacos. You know what I noticed? They don't really do donuts in Europe. Alexa, shut up. They got so many like good cafes with like fresh baked croissants and like a fresh chocolate croissant is heavenly. It is so much better than any donut you will ever eat. And the one place across from my hotel in Barcelona, because the hotel breakfast was like 18 euros. I could go across the street and get like a fresh sandwich, a croissant, and a coffee and a fruit cup for like 10 euros. Like, why the hell would I get the hotel breakfast? The first day I went there, I was like, can I get a chocolate croissant? And she was like, do you want it with the chocolate on the outside of the croissant or on the inside of the croissant? And I was like, one of each. And they were both effing awesome. And then I got the white chocolate croissant, and that was amazing. But anyways, I promised we would change gears. So let's, I'm going to pause this video, and we're going to take a little preview of the Barcelona beach, since we're all tired of watching a high-speed rail go by. This is just a few minutes. But this is the beach in Barcelona.
So this is at the south end of Barcelona.
There's a number of beaches in Barcelona, but it's really just like one long connected beach.
And I think the city
a lot of
has about 4
toplessness.
kilometers
No, you
of
don't see
beachfront
anything
in
on that
total.
person, but I'm going to have to like be careful when I edit this video. Like there's a shit ton of toplessness.
Beach is about to end.
I tried to point the camera away whenever I could.
In Barcelona. I'm not really sure what constitutes the end of one beach.
What would
and the start of
happen is
another.
I think YouTube would just age restrict the video if anything snuck through like that. So I guess it's not the end of the world, but yeah, that is the beach in Barcelona. Shitty sand. It's not much better than Sapan says I love this beach. This is really not much different than like Woodbine Beach in Toronto. Not a whole lot of people in the water. It was a very rocky shore, so a lot of little like.
This message is saying
I don't know. I don't.
you can't sell
People
food or
are.
drink
I was
if it's
not.
unauthorized
Maybe I've
or
been to
off the
Thailand too many
massages.
times, but I thought the beach itself was very pedestrian.
Quite a bit here.
But yeah, lots of people there. You'll see these little sun umbrellas. I rented one of those. It was 10 euros to rent one of these off some random dude just standing there. But it was pretty sunny when I got there, so definitely
Toronto, but not much.
help a local out and rent a sun umbrella. If you can't go in the water, I don't see the point. You can go in the water. A lot of people did, but most people didn't. Sirium signed up for gym membership last year. You didn't get your beach bod, but you did work hard enough. But yeah, this is a little preview. I have a full... This is probably... I'm going to predict this now. This video will be my most watched video from that vacation by far. That video is going to get the most views. I haven't uploaded it yet, but... All right, I have another preview video. Let's just play that. This is what I think is hands down the most beautiful building I've ever been to. I didn't intend on making this video. This is, you've probably heard that there's a building in Spain that's been under construction since the 1800s. This is that building. This is the Sagrada Familia. It's mind-blowing. It's like the most gorgeous thing I've ever been to. I was going to just do my live stream from this property and then walk to my hotel, but I couldn't get a good enough connection. So what I decided to do was just make a video, a regular video from it. And then when I got out, I realized this video was only like 6 minutes long. So then I got on the subway and I rode the subway to my hotel. So it's a very weird combination of looking at this beautiful building and getting on the metro and riding the subway. So it's like a half and half building. But yeah, this is Antonio Gaudi's like masterpiece. There's actually been several architects working on the project. And he died knowing full well he would never see it to completion. I think it's supposed to finish in like 2026. And I think it started in like 18... I want to say 1890 something. Looks like pretty high ceilings. Yes, Novell costs. Pretty high. But it is absolutely stunning the amount of like natural light that gets through from through the stained glass. Jeanette says this has been on your bucket list for years. Yeah, I think I've been to a lot of like tourist traps. This is the most visited spot in the country of Spain, and for good reason. Yeah, if you're there, I just say go there, see it. It'll give you goosebumps just being inside. Like, I'm not a church person. Like, I went to Spain, didn't care about the Notre Dame Cathedral. But this is like, this isn't a church. This is a work of art. Like, go see it. Go see it. And when I was there doing my guided tour, it was like at the time of day when they said was the most optimal time of day, when like the sun was going through the stained glass and the whole thing was being like lit up with like purely natural light. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, I have a video of this. Robert says, do they have mass there? Yes, every Sunday they do. They do have mass there. And it is not open to tourists while there, but you can go there to attend mass. And the Pope has been there. But yeah, I mean, it's probably the most beautiful building on Earth. Like, it is as insanely busy as it is for a reason. But yeah, I'll stop gushing over this building now. But also, this video is almost done. But it was surprisingly the highlight of Barcelona. I thought, it's really cool. I got to see it. Got to get tickets. And you can see straight ahead the natural light coming through those stained glass windows. Novell costs so many tourists. What's cool about it is those tourists are paying for the building. They're paying for it. So that's kind of cool, actually. I felt good about that when they said the construction is entirely funded by their admissions. I'm like, cool. All right, we'll get the Paris walk over with. This is just a random walk in Paris that I recorded for some reason. It's not that long, so we're going to play this. They don't build buildings just for the sake of having beautiful buildings in North America. Too bad. At least they do in Spain. Yeah, I think we used to do that, though. Like, you look at like a lot of the classic Art Deco buildings, like we used to do that. I think just the world got away from craftsmanship and putting effort into that type of thing. Naughty Brown says, was there a cafe down there? In the Sagrada? No, there wasn't. Google Accounts team, updating our Google account inactivity. Every day Google works hard to keep... Okay, why are you sending me this, Google? Novell Costa's Montparnasse Tower. I don't even know what you're talking about. But this is a random walk to a shopping mall in Paris. DS says Honest Ed's was the last beautiful building in Toronto. It was an iconic building. I don't know. It was actually like different buildings strung together, right? But I don't know if beautiful was the word. I guess beauty's in the eye of the beholder. History says, what other French cities did the train go through before Spain? Marseille? Whatever is on that train line between Paris and Barcelona. I have no idea. None of the city names like stuck out. A few of them actually did as famous places. A few of them did. But no, I don't think Marseille or like Lyon or any of those ones. Those are all the other way in France, I think. Mike T says street parking EV charger is nice. Deborah Ball, any walk in Paris is fine with me. Paris, Toronto, and Edinburgh are your big three. You've got 3 days to live. You'll spend a day in each city kind of places, Deborah. My big three, Tokyo, Seoul, Bangkok. Call me a freak. If I go back to Barcelona one more time, I think Barcelona is going to shove Seoul out of that list. It was that impressive. I would put New York on that list, but it's not super pedestrian friendly. And I think just living in Toronto makes New York a little less exciting. It's not similar at all, but it's similar enough that I want something a little more exotic than that to be in my big three. Siriam kind of misses the Mr. Christie factory down in Mimico. Also where that seedy motel strip used to be. Deborah says, although the logistics might be challenging, yeah. Edinburgh is full at the moment with a festival, says Naughty. Anthony says, how about Italia? I've never been. I'd like to go. I would like to go. Not so interested in Venice. It kind of strikes me. I'm just not interested in it. I feel like I've already been there and experienced it via the magic of YouTube, but definitely Rome and some of the other cities would be worth seeing. Hardjot says, how was the flight? The flight was good. Zero jet lag going there. Zero tiredness. Bad jet lag coming back. I guess that's just the way it is. Lisa says, I haven't seen enough of it to make judgment. Anthony says, or Halifax, Nova Scotia. You can visit the Scotiabank Center where the World Junior Hockey was held this past year. I don't give a flying F about the World Juniors of Hockey, to be honest, but Halifax would be cool. Clark Kent says, Hong Kong is nice. Yes, it is. I have been. I think you'd be a huge fan of Porto or Lisboa. I don't even know what those places are, DS. Lisa says not into Venice. It looks... Simon Wilson went there, and I've seen enough of YouTube to know that, to me, it would be like a one-day kind of place. I wouldn't want to spend more than that there. Deborah says Kyoto might get added to my list if you ever make it there. Kyoto is insanely beautiful, but to me, that's like a one-day kind of city as well. But the good thing about it is it's connected to Osaka, which is definitely not a one-day kind of city. Osaka is incredible. And it's just like a very short commuter rail train away. You've also got Nara, which is a beautiful city worth spending at least an afternoon there. And you've got Kobe, like another major city, all like 20 minutes from one another via rail. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, Kyoto 100%. But I would actually stay in Osaka and just take the train to Kyoto. Novell Koss, sticking up for Halifax, has the NS International tattoo at the Metro Center too. It's not just hockey. Lisa says Germany interests her. Let's take a look at these poll results. 68% voted for tacos. 32% voted for donuts. Thanks for voting. Lisa's neighbor just got back from Kyoto. Robert says, I think you would like Jerusalem even though you're not religious. You don't have to be religious to enjoy a place like that, right? Like, I think some of our most beautiful buildings and best architecture in humanity are religious structures, right? Like churches. Especially when you go to old world Europe and you see like the influence they have had on everything. So yeah, if you view it as like a form of art, it can be fully appreciated, I think. How about walking from France through Spain on El Camino de Santiago, aka the Way of St. James, begins at... Oh, Mary, no, that would probably kill me. Porto and Lisbon are in Portugal. Porto is a port town in the north. Lisbon is funky, old, historical. Yeah, I think Lisbon would definitely appeal to me. And hey, I've made it almost to the end of this trip. Look at this. This I thought was fascinating. Look at this apartment building. That is like... I just didn't see that anywhere in Paris. Let's go back. Look at this. This is like straight out of North America. They have all these like early 1900s, late 1800s era low and mid-rise buildings. And whenever there is something modern, it's almost always done to sort of match the spirit of the older buildings. But this building is like a 60s era apartment building, just like smack in the middle of Paris. Like it does not give a fuck about preserving like the character of the street or the neighborhood or anything. I thought it was like super cool because I did not see anything like this at all anywhere in Paris. I just thought it was awesome. Like that's the apartment building where I'd want to live, to be honest. Someone says that apartment building is really out of place. It is super out of place. But I thought it was neat. I love seeing stuff like that. Like, just break up the street wall. Put in, Robert says, looks communist. Oh, Eastern European apartment blocks are probably the most depressing housing developments on Earth, right? Lisa gets that. The contrast. What's the word? Juxtaposition? Is that the right word? Did I use that? Anyways, it's back to our train ride. What video is this? This is number 4, I think. Oh no! Where were we? We were like somewhere over here. I don't know. I think this is about where we were. Didn't see that building folding on itself in Inception. I'm out of drink. I'm going to get another beverage. I'll be back in a second. I think we're going to run the stream till about 9:30. We'll hit the usual 90 minutes. I'll be back. Hey, look, we've rolled into a train station, and I've got myself a cancer-causing, not really Pepsi, don't sue me, Pepsi Zero. Tony says, I'm so excited today. Yeah, I'm excited to, like, not go outside and do a video. The Velcos says SNCF has such a variety of rolling stock and liveries. Mary says, I need water, H2O. I'm pretty sure this is, like, 98% water in here and 2% carcinogenic sweetener. But you'll be pleased to know this is the last can of this I have in my fridge, and I have not ordered any more. Amy says, I wish I had the money to travel. So many medical bills. Sorry to hear, Amy. You work hard for your money, Johnny. Thank you. I just really value traveling. It's something I've always done. When I worked, I wouldn't let a week vacation go by without like getting on a plane and going somewhere. Toto Root says next trip, Rome or Iceland. I have no idea. Probably. Naughty says go to bed for 10. I might try to do like another resort kind of trip, like maybe not Dominican or Mexico, but maybe a different country. My videos there actually did very, very well last time I went to the Dominican Republic. I only made 3 videos, but they all caught fire and they all did well and they all kind of paid for that trip. So I'm slowly not super opposed to doing like a resort for like 4 or 5 nights. Herman says, which train station is this? I have no idea. Brad Palmer says you should have saved it for 8 years. I don't know what that's in reference to. Aspartame. I think Ace K is like the main. At least everyone is like more aware of how bad artificial sweeteners are. Axolfame potassium. There we go. Oh, it also has aspartame. That sounds healthy, right? We should definitely be consuming a product called aspartame in our drink. Jonathan says, thoughts on cannabis capsules. I have no thoughts on that. I wasn't even aware that was a thing, to be honest with you. Mike T says a Chicago trip would be awesome. I'm hoping to do some U.S. content later this year. Brad Palmer says your drink. Oh, I get it because I drank in one of my Johnny Stumble streams. I drank like 8-year-old Werner's ginger soda. Wally, I'm waiting for your London premiere. You'll be waiting quite a while. I could probably scoot over to London, Ontario and make a video. Amy Williams says Hong Kong. I don't know if I'll ever go back to Hong Kong. Chris Mills says, do Costa Rica in the rainy season. Really not that rainy. Yeah. This year, where have I been this year? I went to Montreal. I did that like $1 flight to Montreal. Then I went to Punta Cana in Dominican. Then we did like the Korea, Vietnam, Thailand trip, and then Spain and France. So I'm pretty much hitting my goals for traveling this year so far. I think there's 1 or 2 like big trips left in the year. At least one like really big trip and maybe a few smaller ones. Robert lived in London, Ontario for many years. I don't believe I've seen a CDMX vid on here. What is CDMX? Is that an airport? The Velcost? You're making me Google stuff. CDMX, Mexico City. Yeah, that would be a neat one. Deborah Boss's Verner's and ice cream is fabulous. Stephen Collins is going to be reviewing them coming up. I'm going to Punta Cana around Christmas. I think the airline I flew, Swoop, is doomed, right? I think WestJet, because they bought Sunwing, has to shut Swoop down. And Latin says London, Ontario. That would be good. Yeah, I'll go there and praise it. And if not just Bikes gets a hold of my videos, he'll have a heart attack. Tony Young says Buffalo, New York. You know what? I do have plans to go to New York, the state, at the end of this month. And maybe I'll bring my camera with me. Maybe there'll be a video from New York coming up. I do have plans. I do have a car booked. So that is something I'm doing. So that'll be coming up. I won't be going to a theme park there called Darien Lake. Have you visited the Niagara Parks Butterfly Conservatory? You should definitely go there and record some butterflies. No, I have not, but there's an idea. Mary says the movie Empire is 8 hours of the Empire State from one view by Andy Warhol. This train has more action. There was a video made by a Canadian. What is it called? It's from like the 60s or 70s. I don't know. I forget the name, but apparently nothing happens. Lisa says, oh man, Darien Lake, haven't been there in ages. But you'll at least know the layout of the airport. Now we're in the beautiful, beautiful south of France. Jay Smith in the house. Hello, Jay Smith. I have no idea what would this be, like marshlands, swamp? Marge says they had a shack there that sold the best deep fried mushrooms. Oh, the memories. They had like what was the world's largest Ferris wheel at the time. They have a really cool old arrow looping roller coaster called the Viper. They have one, a wooden roller coaster that's really rough. It's kind of like the Wild Beast called the Predator. A hyper coaster is there. Superman, the Ride of Steel, where unfortunately someone lost their life, but it's an awesome roller coaster. They have a Gerstlauer Eurofighter. Remy says, yes, the south of France is extraordinary. Silver Fox says, if I could live anywhere other than Toronto, I would call Edinburgh, Scotland my home. No question at all. Just because I'm Canadian, would probably go to Montreal. But if not, Tokyo, if I could. Maple Dubs says, hey everyone. Hello, Maple Dubs. Although, if you've seen my videos from Quebec or France, you will know my French is not at all remotely good. We'll just leave it at that. Are you taking the rental car to Niagara or New York? I'll be going through Niagara to New York. Hey, you can see my hand in the reflection of this video, I think. You can see my veiny ass hand right where my left arm is. Isn't that fun? Now the lighting no longer allows you to see my hand. That is exciting. Mike T says Kennywood in Pittsburgh apparently has a lot of great coasters. Theme Park Worldwide is a fan of the park. Yeah, I love watching Sean on Theme Park Worldwide. That's the best amusement park channel for my money. Coaster Studios is pretty good, but Kennywood looks amazing. So does Dollywood, actually. There's a lot of like really cool parks down south. Christian says, does Johnny drive the speed limit? Johnny drives with the flow of traffic. Whatever traffic be going is what I go. And I do not drive in the left lane unless I am passing somebody, because I'm not an asshole. Not one of those people that arbitrarily decides how fast I get to go and holds everyone up. Mary says Edinburgh is the Athens of the North. Maybe that's worth checking out. It's never even occurred to me to go visit it. But yeah, this is some south of France action we are looking at here. The Belcost loves him a gigantic roller coaster. Well, the three biggest in Canada by far are in Vaughan, Ontario. Really, outside of Canada's Wonderland, like Montreal, like La Ronde is, other than like Le Monster, is terrible. Vancouver has nothing. Like, why do we only have one good amusement park in the whole country? We're kind of getting ripped off as a country. Like, let's face it, La Ronde sucks. I made the mistake of going there my first time. Marge says, Johnny in a kilt, unthinkable. I will be wearing something underneath the kilt. Steven says, do you cross the double line? No. Maple Dub says you have to go to Disney World. I've been to Disney World. Honestly, if I went to Florida, I don't know if I'd rather go to Busch Gardens. I'd rather ride. They have better thrill rides. I'd rather go to the Islands of Adventure. Even like the regular Universal Park. They're building a new park in Universal called Epic Universe as well, which I think I'd rather see. You were thinking of Michael Snow, maybe History Minor. It was... Let me see. Films. Where's his list of films? I think the name, if I saw the name of it. Wavelength. That is it. It is Wavelength, a Canadian-American short subject by experimental filmmaker and artist Michael Snow, considered a landmark of avant-garde cinema. It was filmed over 1 week in December of 1966. It's literally 45 minutes of nothing happening, and it's considered like must-watch film for any like film student. Novell Costas, there used to be rides and stuff at Marineland. Yeah, Marineland has a few good rides. Really what they need is like someone to buy that theme park, take all their wildlife and like send them off to proper sanctuaries and then focus on the rides and stop doing the sick, cruel wildlife thing and finish Dragon Mountain. Dragon Mountain is like a really long arrow loop and roller coaster that was only... The theming wasn't built properly, so it's still unfinished in its current form. but it's one of like the most oddball roller coasters you'll ever see. And I think it's like the only full-size coaster at Marineland. But yeah, sad place. Like, take the animals out, give them to someone who's going to care for them, and like, I don't know. Like, it would be really cool if Busch Gardens or someone moved in, because it's such a good location for an amusement park. It would do really, really well, like seriously well, if it was built up properly. But they just have such a bad track record of like inhumane treatment of the animals. You need all new ownership, I would think. But it's such a good location. It's so perfect. Like, build it up. Anyways, before I get myself canceled for advocating for a new refreshed Marineland, we'll change topics, but we'll leave it at that. Can you stream the drive to Niagara? And then I promise we'll leave you alone the rest of the way. I don't know if I'll... The last time I streamed the drive to Niagara, it was kind of cool because I had Action Kid in the passenger seat who could like read the chat and like... Because otherwise when I'm driving and streaming, I can't follow the chat. It's a little bit hard. I can't... Like, I could follow the chat, but that would be kind of unethical to do that. And I don't want to do that. Lisa says it's such a boring drive to Niagara. It's more interesting going in the other direction, I think, as you start coming towards Toronto. Because when you hit Hamilton and Burlington, you start getting like more and more stuff, right? Oh, is this video done? I think this video's done. Oh no. Okay, we'll play the people watching for 5 minutes. Dahlia says, Johnny, you liked your trip? Yes, I did very much. The part I didn't like was my visa bill, but I liked the trip. And that was cool. I took out 150 euros cash, and I spent almost all of it my last 2 days there because I realized I had to spend the cash. Almost everything you do takes tap pay. I wasn't even using my credit card. I was using like my phone to tap on to everything. Like tapas restaurants, like when you go to like the little bodegas just to buy sparkling water or whatever, popping into a cafe. I bought my sunglasses cash because I lost my sunglasses at the Eiffel Tower. So I had to buy new ones. I got these ones in Spain, so I spent 10 euros on these. But yeah, like, don't really need cash. It's kind of cool. I mean, you don't need cash here. I don't know why I'm saying that's cool, but it's cool to like not really need to like convert money. The future has some good things. It's not all bad, right? Not walking around with change in your pocket. Chris Mills says, what do you recommend for a travel sim? Who did I use? I bought the high data plan, which wasn't the best coverage. Air... eSIM. I can't seem to... Moby Matter worked fine. I had not the best connection in Spain, unfortunately, but Moby Matter worked fine for me. I used an eSIM, though. And then I hotspotted from my iPhone to my Android. And by the way, Apple, your hotspotting fucking sucks. Don't use iPhones if you're into hotspotting. Like, it's just stupid. If it's not connected to something for 90 seconds, it turns itself off. And you'll be constantly... Unless that other device has an Apple ID, in which case it'll happily turn itself back on. So that's Apple's way of like telling you to get into their really disturbing little ecosystem. So yeah, don't rely on your iPhone to hotspot to non-Apple devices. They suck ass as a company. Anyways, Naughty says falling asleep. Well, we're almost done the live stream. Just hang on. 2 more minutes. Hang on. Robert says don't swear near that family. There's always someone that's like, dude, I like your videos, but you swore, so now I can never watch you again. Sorry, you also can't watch 80% of the movies ever made. Lisa's saying Highway 8 is better than the QE, much more scenic. Maple Dub says Apple isn't as popular in Europe, is it? No. I swear to God, Europe is like Samsung Galaxy Land. Like almost everybody is like, I didn't see too many other Android phones, but almost everybody had like a variation of the Samsung Galaxy. You saw some iPhones, but hugely dominated by like Samsung phones. Like in the Louvre, when everyone has their phones out taking pictures, I'm just looking at everyone like, where the F are the iPhones? Like, yeah, it's another world out there. It's pretty rad. One more thing Europeans have better taste in than North Americans. Jeanette says yes, Samsung. Oh, Jeanette, I went into my Patreon. I've got like 8 or 9 unread messages on Patreon. I'm not ignoring you guys. I will get back and reply anyone who sent me a message. I just haven't done it for several weeks. I apologize. I kind of went away. But tomorrow I will get on that. So thanks for reminding me, Jeanette. Novell says Samsung is one of the few Android brands I've never used. It's the Apple of Android. Lisa says, meanwhile, I'm the only person in my office that doesn't own an iPhone. You're the only person with class and taste. And dare I say, a hint of elegance. Adam says they're effing expensive over there. Europe is the reason why Apple is switching to USB-C next year because of EU legislation. Also, they'll soon be having to put user replaceable batteries in their devices, including their laptops, which is super exciting. Who has better style, Catalonians or Ontarians? I don't know if we're looking at locals or tourists here. It's hard to say, but I think the answer is pretty obvious. Robert says, I don't like the feel of an iPhone. What, you don't like the feel of a $2,000 phone that's as slippery as a wet bar of soap and designed to fly out of your hand and break? How could you not like that? Anyways, guys, I'm starting to rant against Apple. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. I'm going to try to go live sometime later this week, out and about, either on 2 wheels or on a on my feet. Jennifer Gala just got the Z Flip 5 and the Buds 2 Pro. When you record a video, it's in binaural audio. Now that's cool. My iPhone can't do that. Binaural audio, by the way, sort of simulates when you record in stereo, you have a left and a right. But in real life, stereo isn't left and right because you have your brain in the middle. So you have a natural separation between the left and the right. Binaural basically mimics there being a brain between the 2 channels. So you really hear the difference between left and right as a human would. So that's really cool. I didn't know that the phone could do binaural audio. That's awesome. Anyways, thank you guys. Thanks to our mods. Huge thanks to the mods for hanging out in the premieres while I was away. Vivian, Estelle, Sheena, Action VJ, you guys, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks to our channel members, Patreon supporters, and everyone. Should have a Toronto video up tomorrow morning. I'm probably going to alternate every other day, and then we'll be doing a Paris Metro video on Wednesday. So for all the people wanting to know what the subway is like there, that'll be coming up Wednesday morning. But I am going to cash out and go lie in my bed and watch some silly TV. All right, guys. Thanks. Yoink.